Hold on, if we're gonna make this into a YouTube video, I gotta do it right. Chat, on today's video, the internet's deepest rabbit hole by Nexpo. This guy makes some amazing content, by the way. 3 million, almost 4 million views is so much. That's insane. All right, don't forget to like and subscribe. Nice. All right, let's do this. Wait, what'd you say? No, I need to go buy my dad a cake like right now. Oh no, why? Is it his birthday? We called you Thomas when there was no personal names. Yeah, that's true. Hello, Yen. Welcome in. All right, let's watch this. Chat, it's about to get spooky. Chat, it's about to get a little spooky. Get ready. Hold it in. All right, Yen. I'll see you in a second. From Nexpo with love. Hey, is it too loud, by the way? Is everything good?
Saturday. Wildfires are decimating Hawaii. The Barbenheimer phenomenon is in full force. And over in
Barbenheimer, I never heard of that.
Cyberspace, someone creates a YouTube channel with an urgent call to action.
This matter is of utmost significance for the survival of every living being on this planet.
It's called the Earth Save Science Collaborative, and it's hosted by a man named Alan Agon Shalakian. On his channel, we can find over
Yo, Shalakian's a crazy last name. Shalakian?
180 videos of this man warning people about global issues like climate change, nanoplastics, and disinformation campaigns. Admittedly, while these are all issues that are plaguing the world, the way Agon is framing them is a bit odd. In every single one of his videos, he sits in front of a camera dressed in a suit, goes on about his various accolades, and spends anywhere from around 30 minutes to 3.5 hours fear-mongering about things like geophysical anomalies inside the Earth's core that, upon doing further research, appear to have little to no basis in scientific fact. According to Agon, if humanity doesn't unite to solve this global threat, then the end of the world is quite literally just a few years away. On his website, EarthSaveScienceCollaborative.com, we can find a section that gives us insight into his cause. And at a cursory glance, we can notice a plethora of colorful phrasing formatted in bold for dramatic effect. Agon claims that there are alarming anomalies. There's a chaotic acceleration of the planet's rotation, that humanity only has a few years to avert an impending catastrophe, and upon taking a look at their scientific papers,
Dude, people fearmonger all the time. Y'all remember that time where, not that time, but I swear to God, it's every probably 10 years, somebody comes up with a new thing that's saying the Earth's about to fucking explode or something. Like, it never happens either. Like, remember whenever they made that movie 2012? Or was it called, it was called 2012, right? I mean, that was the same shit. Or Y2K, stuff like that.
he makes bizarre claims about an external and unknown cosmic force that's causing all of this. Now, to me, this entire movement comes off as conspiratorial. Agon, in my opinion, consistently instills urgency in the reader, distorts science-backed evidence to fit his narrative, and given that he appears to be someone so ingrained in academia and the government, is feigning credibility while banking on the hope that you won't ever verify his claims. But okay. So we found a channel on YouTube with a random old guy that uploads crazy videos about an impending calamity that could happen in as little as years. Why exactly are we giving this guy attention?
I want to know that too.
What truly is the big deal here?
Yeah.
Well,
what are you getting at, buddy?
In any other circumstance, I would have moved
Hello,
on before
Knucklehead.
this video even started. There was one simple thing that kept me here. His hands.
Chat, I'm not going to front. Those look like normal hands to me. Am I crazy? Those looks like some normal... Oh, wait a minute. Why they look so... Well, no, they look old. Old blotchy. I don't know. How are we doing? I'm doing good. chilling, watching this scary video. Spooky.
Online, people have noticed that in certain videos, Aegon doesn't move. And while it's such a simple, silly observation, it's effectively morphed what was supposed to be just a random internet anomaly into one of the strangest and most perplexing internet rabbit holes that I have ever seen.
Interesting.
We'll return after these messages.
Alright guys, before we continue, just a quick story time. Alright, so as you guys may know, my wife and I had our baby girl in December, and we found ourselves faced with something we weren't quite prepared for.
Ads. Fake YouTubers are now a
Government
thing.
AI-generated fake
Wait, what?
YouTubers are now a thing, and they're super scary. Hi guys. Recently I found a video on YouTube about Destiny doing some research and some weird things, and one thing caught my attention. This dude named Aegon Chalakian is supposed to be a person with a lot of influence in the US government, but he never existed, and everything about him is just odd or weird in some way. He has a YouTube channel in which he only speaks directly to a camera, speaks a bunch of nonsense about geopolitical stuff, and does not move. I'm being serious, this guy sits for 3 hours without moving his hands.
I mean, I don't feel like that's very strange though, right? Like, I get that people like use a lot of hand gestures when they talk, but I mean, he's old. I don't know. Maybe he just likes putting his hands down. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. That doesn't seem like a lot of evidence to me.
All across the internet, we can find him. On LinkedIn, Facebook, research archives, and photographed with countless major public figures in governments and academia. Aegon, according to his Facebook and LinkedIn profiles, carries a highly decorated resume, having studied at numerous prestigious institutions like Harvard, MIT, and Stanford. And while this looks impressive, he notes that he somehow attended these universities at the exact same time. Now, as we know, anyone can put anything on a LinkedIn profile, and given that his accolades are so incredibly out there, it's possible that some, if not all of his social media claims are bogus. On top of this, if we perform a search for Aegon Chalakian on the internet, we'll find that hardly any of his actual research comes up. For someone so ingrained, so well networked, you would think that this man's work would be everywhere. But aside from his own profiles, paid articles he himself submitted to the press, and videos from his YouTube channel, little, if anything, is out there. It seems that all
wait, look, go back. Look, did y'all see that?
Himself submitted to the press, and videos from his YouTube.
Why does he have 2 microphones on? Huh. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. They're both in the same. Is this full guy AI? Bro, no, if this is AI, we're so fucked. If this looks real. I mean, this looks as real as it comes. Oh man, I don't like the future. Oh, take me back, bro.
YouTube channel, little, if anything, is out there. It seems that all we have are a myriad of images depicting Aegon with public figures. However, upon looking at them closer, even these seem strangely uncanny.
Oh shit.
He can be seen photographed with former CIA Director Stansfield Turner, but it looks... This one's with a Harvard colleague named Robert Merton, but what's going on here? Okay, what about this one? This one looks normal, but no. Hold on.
I'm not picking up what he's putting down. Wait, what? Bro, do you understand how scary this is? These are like public officials. She works for NASA. Is this woman not real? This is everybody on the world, everybody in the entire planet should see this. What are we talking about right now? Bro, what? This is blowing my mind. Like, I'm a little bit scared, honestly, if I'm being real. This is terrifying. Same pose and everything. I mean, they're literally auto-generating people. This is oh man, this is a deep rabbit hole. Holy shit. Oh my god. All right, I was not prepared for what this was, but now I'm a little bit nervous.
Egon Shalakian has fabricated a massive network of images depicting endless aspects of his life that never happened. This is why he's garnered such an infamous reputation. The bizarre, nonsensical LinkedIn timeline, the unnatural ability to sit still for over 3 hours at a time while professing absolute nonsense, and the photos. His entire online presence rests in the uncanny valley, and given how proficient AI has become at spoofing entire personalities online, this
Good
left
point.
many across the internet wondering if this could be what's going on here. Is Egon Shalakian, proficient researcher, world-renowned scientist, and highly decorated alumnus of numerous prestigious universities, even a real person? Or is this one of the most involved examples of the dead internet theory that we've ever seen?
Y'all ever heard of the dead internet theory? That most of the internet is fake? I 110% believe this. If you go, I'm not joking, man. I go to like YouTube a lot and just watch reels. And a lot of the comments don't make sense, or they're made by people with like no user name that like is like it's a fake. You can tell it's a fake username, like auto generated. There's no picture. The content itself is already weird enough, but it's like same with TikTok too. Like TikTok, like you'll go like certain pages and it's all fake content. Like it's all fake interaction. This scares me. But I mean, of course, tons of people still use the internet. So like, I don't know. I think it's gonna get worse over time. This is terrifying.
On Aegon's channel exists a documentary called The Impact, and in it, we can hear an AI George Washington calling the audience to action against a so-called foreign enemy. It goes on to fearmonger about impending civil war, so-called anti-cult organizations that oppose him, and it puts forth various potential scenarios about the end of the world. It is, for all intents and purposes, complete AI slop, and weirdest of all, it goes on for 8 entire hours.
Holy shit.
If you click around this video, you will learn nothing. It's just a bunch of random propaganda wrapped up in vernacular that simply goes on in circles. Yet, even so, surprisingly, this video has found an audience.
What?
Thank you to all that stood up to protect our Constitution and our rights. Yeah, by the way, it's so nice to see actual journalism for a change. You all didn't have the complete story. The rabbit hole goes much deeper.
These are all fake. These are all definitely fake people. I don't think these are real people. Yeah, by the way, it's so nice to see actual journalism for a change. It's AI. It's like AI George Washington spewing whatever. That's crazy.
This is 8 hours long, and you're saying we don't have the complete story? What?
Yeah, right?
So I'll just go forth and say it. I refuse to believe that anyone on planet Earth has had the willpower to sit down and attentively watch all 8 hours of this, much less consider it journalism. As we can see, these comments all come from those with randomized usernames.
See, exactly.
Empty YouTube channels. Not a single profile picture. It appears that the only ones here are bots. a revelation that does not help Aegon's case.
I mean, what does that mean,
We're
though?
going a
Like,
little bit deeper. Okay. In chat, somebody brings up a YouTube video of this guy.
Hello. My name is Aegon Chalakian. I am an intelligence educator. I prepare intelligence personnel for clandestine service. The focus of my career has been centered on the intelligence community of national.
As this mystery made its way across the internet thanks to a live stream by Destiny, it led many to scour for traces of him online. It quickly became clear that nearly all media involving Aegon Chalakian involved him speaking in front of a camera. His entire image was incredibly manicured, overproduced, and for a while, it seemed like there was nothing out there that could truly humanize him. But right when people were keen on throwing this entire mystery away as just another case of AI-generated nonsense, a random pandemic-era video depicting a Zoom call, of all things, found its way into the spotlight.
Hey there again.
How you doing?
Well, how about yourself?
Just peachy. I figured I'd step in early and just hang my hat.
Awesome. Fabulous. We have some people that are just kind of hanging out here. The judges are deliberating. The pitches took a little bit less time than we had planned for since we had.
And so, there we have it. Aegon is just peachy.
wait, so he's a real guy? Well, then what the fuck? I'm so confused. What does that mean? Wait, so he's a real dude? This dude doesn't... Yeah, he's just old. Yeah. He's old, but for him to have this many accolades, like, look where he lives. It looks like a regular home. Like, where is he doing his videos at? There's so many... I have so many questions.
And he's a real person. Turns out that this guy pulled a Stephen
Yeah, it could be
McDaniel
just a
and
backup
somehow sat
microphone.
still for 3.5 hours, which is weird, but okay. So that's all this is then, right? A conspiracy theory YouTube channel run by an old man doctoring photos of himself and over-embellishing his achievements to make him seem more legitimate than he is.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Someone who, admittedly, seems pretty...
I mean, what is he doing this for? Like, if I were to break it down, I almost 110% it's because he's trying to get puss. I almost know he's just trying to get some pussy. I feel like that's got to be what it is. I don't understand why else he would be doing, unless he just likes the recognition that isn't even real. I can't think what beneficial thing this would be good for. I don't know. Why would you do? I'm so confused.
nice, according to this call, and someone who found himself ensnared in an online conspiracy about his very existence, completely out of nowhere. You know, the reason I do what I do is because of mysteries just like this. Creepy internet anomalies that we can investigate and solve with a logical conclusion. Aegon has fabricated an entire online persona, and admittedly, it was an engaging investigation. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Oh shit.
Something is wrong.
What? Ooh, I'm getting
All
chills.
throughout Aegon's comment section, we'll notice the same commenters spread out across his uploads. And upon taking a look, interesting. What's going on with this?
Creative Society.
Representatives of the Creative Society delivered a substantive presentation addressing one of the most pressing issues that has long been the subject of my research and concern for many years.
Weird, but okay. What the hell's the Creative Society?
Yeah, for real.
says again. Okay, I'm not trying to be tinfoil hatty, but there are way too many oddities taking place with this channel. Every single comment supports Aegon. They seem to heavily lean Russian. They all connect in some way to something called Creative Society. And upon closer inspection, why is Aegon on their website? From what it seems, Aegon Chalakian isn't just a one-man show. It's a group. So who in the world are these people?
Here's a typical morning routine as someone who owns 11 pets.
Okay, I've been making this brown sugar mocha dalgona lately, and Nescafe is helping me.
November 7th, 155 miles per hour winds just wiped out 80% of the city.
It is what all people want. We've been conducting a lot of surveys for several years.
No day without informing about Creative Society.
It is not some saintly cult. The Creative Society is all of humanity. And when I say all, it means all.
What the fuck is going on?
Making its way onto every social media algorithm across the vast ocean of the internet is an idea. An idea that, on the surface, sounds idyllic, the sort of thing you'd hear in, let's say, a dream. The long-awaited arrival of a future we were promised, yet never came, and one that'll radically transform the lives of everyone that chooses to follow it.
Yeah.
It goes by the Creative Society, and it's spilling out onto TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, really anywhere with an audience online. Take a look around, and chances are you'll find it. Front and center on their website, we're greeted with oddly familiar dialogue. Today, as the global community faces an increasing threat of natural disasters, the pursuit of security and sustainability has become fundamental for everyone. This situation requires immediate and decisive collective action. Just like the Earth Saves Science Collaborative, we're confronted with a conveyor belt of ideas, videos, and scientific reports that scaremonger about many of the same problems that Aegon told us about earlier. Nanoplastics, catastrophic earthquakes, an increase in turbulence in the Earth's atmosphere. It honestly sounds like a complete rehash of the exact same information. So much so that when I was digging through this, I found myself wondering why they even bothered creating another site at all. Upon heading over to their About page, we're given somewhat of an answer, as the site goes from a retread of familiar information to something completely out of left field. According to the wall of information before us, the Creative Society is more than just a bunch of scientists peddling dramatic theories about climate change. It's an international project uniting volunteers from over 180 countries, aka most of the world, with the goal of transitioning in a legal and peaceful way within the shortest possible time to a new creative format of society worldwide. Further down, they go on to reveal that their aims include eradicating climate change, which they believe is caused not by humans, but cosmic forces, as well as miraculously putting an end to all wars. They guarantee that under this new system, all adults will receive a universal basic income every month and an extra $100,000 upon the birth of their first child. Free healthcare will exist.
Bro, you can't pay everybody a $10,000 a month. That just wouldn't work. High quality healthcare worldwide, free of charge. Crazy. Cancellation of all debts and loans, including mortgages. Unlimited use of utilities. No taxes for individuals. This sounds incredible, but there's no fucking way this would work. $100,000 upon the... Well, that would actually really make the boom of childbirth. I mean, $100,000 for every child you birth and $200 upon your second is insane. And then $5,000 for every child up to 6 years, inclusive, and $7,000 for children from 7 years old to the age of maturity. What? Bro, you could make bank just off of having kids.
Across the world, travel without restrictions, the eradication of all debts, mortgages, and taxes. And all of this can be achieved if we simply follow their lead and unite. under the Creative Society.
Yeah, we fucking wish, buddy.
Now, this clearly all sounds way too good to be true. Much like how Aegon came off, it feels completely outlandish and conspiratorial.
Yeah, it does.
To be honest, it feels like the Creative Society has more in common with something like a religion, or perhaps even.
My neighbor in my house, like, if I'm facing out the guy to my left, he is a cult leader. He has this cult called the Creative Society.
Shut up.
I swear to God.
What did they do?
They're like a doomsday, kind of like they're a doomsday cult, but they're like eco-doomsday. So they think that we're in the end of humanity, and the only way to bring us out of it is like through their method of creativity.
The concept of a new world order.
So it's just a big cult. I guess it's not like, I mean, there's been a lot of big cults. I don't really see the harm in this per se, because it's like all their stuff, like obviously, like if you know how a functioning society works, there's no way that shit's gonna work. Like you can't pay people $10,000 a month. Nobody would do anything. All things would stop. Because like, I mean, I guess people would like, they'll want to find purpose and shit like that. But like, for the most part, bro, if you give a lot of people $10,000 a month, they will not be doing shit for a long time. I mean, that's just how it works, bro.
A list of 8 pillars that their values are based around. The weird Illuminati-looking logo. All of this is packaged exactly like a cult. And although it seems obvious in hindsight, if you had merely stumbled upon it when scrolling online, you likely wouldn't even second guess it. This entire organization looks authentic. It pulls you in with its lengthy, seemingly well-researched reports and videos on important topics, led by experts who look legitimate. And it promises of a perfect world where you can be free, if only you spread their message. And somehow, it's actually working. Plastered all over their website are image after image after image, depicting everyday people posing with Creative Society paraphernalia. From what it seems, this group is utilizing their appearance to wiggle their way into various climate expos, US-based business conventions, and even medical offices.
Really?
This, combined with their immensely aggressive social media presence, in which their videos are spammed on nearly every platform you can think of, gives insight into why so many around the world have found their cause. Like with everything else, they carry the appearance of doing a net good for the world. However, as I sit here writing this, I am honestly more confused than ever, because quite literally none of this makes any sense.
Right? It doesn't. But why, like, why would you do all this?
We've seen 2 interconnected climate activist groups that are very clearly peddling more than they've let on. Doing any sort of surface level research into any of them reveals that their claims are extraordinary. They distort science, fabricate their credibility, and even on the Creative Society's website, they go on about a utopian new world order. Either none of these people are doing any research into the organizations they're so outwardly supporting, or they are, and I'm just the crazy one that doesn't.
I mean, I hate to say it, bro, but like 28 likes, 11 likes, 13 likes, 64 likes, 397. These are nothing. Like this is a nothing burger of content, truly. I mean, nothing like looks like it popped off like that, at least on TikTok. I mean, 70, like how to inform me about Creative Society, 79 likes. Like, bro, I don't know.
See their vision. To me, the entire existence and support of the Creative Society is one massive paradox. People should be writing them off. So what really is going on here? Upon scouring the net for any information about this group, I happened upon an article written in 2022 on BBC.com. Penned by 2 climate disinformation reporters named Marco Silva and Marilyn Thomas, they dive into, of all things, how the Creative Society is fraudulent. They explain how several high-profile scientists were, at one point, invited to speak at their online events, mistakenly believing that they'd be educating the public, only to have their words entirely twisted. They claim that video footage was edited to remove any mention of the human causes of climate change, instead framing them as if they agreed with the Creative Society's outlandish views. Since then, these fraudulent videos have been blasted across their socials, fueling propaganda and continuing to attract more and more of the general populace to their cause. It's clear that this toxic combination of distortion and dissemination is what's quietly elevating them to prominence. But even still, there's a question brimming in the back of my mind. Who exactly is behind all of this?
Yeah, facts.
On their website, the Creative Society simply states that there's no one person funding or directing them. It's all just this undulating network of volunteers banding together to change humanity. However, it's when we scour the BBC article when we'll find that that isn't exactly true. Within it, they name drop a man, someone who's been affiliated with the Creative Society and shows up throughout the bulk of their online presence. In fact, it's a man who you've already seen several times throughout this video, hosting their conferences, introducing their YouTube videos, speaking on their network of over 200 channels across thousands of videos. He doesn't exactly hide himself, but he remains just distant and unfamiliar enough to the average person to not arouse suspicion and to coordinate things from behind the scenes. His name is Igor Mikhailovich Danilov, formerly a chiropractor, now the leader of the Creative Society, and someone who's
Whoa, he was a chiropractor? A soft-spoken chiropractor is also leading the figure in the, I don't even know, Alara or Crayon spiritual movement, whose members are among the founders of the Creative Society. Bro, what?
listed as the lead.
How does a fucking chiropractor get into this? Bro, smoking too much peyote.
Leading figure in a Ukrainian spiritual movement, which... Hold on. Alatra is known for promoting pseudoscience and wild conspiracy theories involving aliens and secretive powerful elites that sacrifice children. Okay, that is an absolutely insane statement, but that name... We've
Yeah,
seen
that's a
that name
crazy ass
before.
statement. Wait, what?
Right under our nose, a group has been operating. And upon digging into them further and cross-referencing them with the Earth Save Science Collaborative and the Creative Society, it's become clear to me that everything we've covered up to this point was nothing but a front. A funnel to the real core of this rabbit hole.
What?
Alatra.
Oh, shit. Wait, so this has to do with like human sacrifice and shit? This is taking so many turns. I'm so confused what's happening. There's so many different things to say. What?
Hidden within every climate report and embedded in every viral video are endless references to something called Alatra, an organization which, as it turns out, has much deeper and more expansive roots than anything we've seen so far. They're the ones behind the Creative Society project, the ones paying Egon Chalakian to lobby in the US government, the true puppet master behind this sprawling network of interconnected accounts that are quietly taking over the internet. While up to this point, we've seen the prior groups spreading misinformation and outlandish ideas, what Alatra truly believes at their core is so far out there, so off the rails, that I struggle to comprehend how they've ever been taken seriously. According to the videos on their vast network of YouTube channels, they sincerely believe that humans are capable of telepathy and have conducted several experiments using a walk-in pyramid where volunteers transmit symbols with their minds in front of a live audience. They have videos showing members taking photographs of their thoughts, infographics about the soul coming from space, even podcast appearances where they talk about aliens living among us.
Considering the level of their...
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I think aliens might be among us as well. I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, I don't know. It just feels like possibly, who knows? It may be true.
Development.
This guy's still a piece of shit, but like, I don't know, the aliens existing thing, kind of on his side there.
The Apexians had already colonized millions and millions of planets by that time. And naturally, they had developed methods of working with humanoids like us, right? So they took the simplest option. They elevated themselves to the rank of God.
Naturally, on their website, they mention none of this, instead describing themselves with the familiar spiel we know all too well by now. Volunteers across 180 countries, nanoplastics, the usual. It's when we take a look at their About page, though, when we're able to spot something strange.
Wait, aren't nanoplastics like legitimately bad though? Is that like a cover up for something bigger? I'm confused. A lot of this shit is just like, kinda, you know, like like nanoplastics probably ain't good for the environment, I would guess. I don't know.
Taking up nearly half of this page is a massive section about a supposed defamation campaign enacted upon Allatra by a group called the Russian Association of Centers for Religious Insect Studies, or RACERS for short. Allatra claims that this group sought to tarnish its image by accusing them of believing in ideologies laid out in so-called fiction books that they once published. Furthermore, they go on to claim that they are absolutely not an apocalyptic cult and that all rhetoric supporting this is intentionally trying to discredit them.
This sounds a lot like Scientology. If I'm being real. This sounds like a different version of Scientology.
You know, it's funny they say that because we kind of already had an idea. If the alien beliefs and weird telepathic experiments weren't enough to give it away, then them outright claiming that they're not a cult, guys, they are not a cult, is a bit of a dead giveaway. But I digress. With this in mind, I did some digging into Allatra itself and stumbled upon a trove of information about their early years. I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, but even with everything we've seen them peddle so far, things still get stranger. In their early years, Allatra was born as nothing more than a publishing house, releasing novels penned by an author named Anastasia Novik. These books are highly spiritual and feature a being named Rigdon Japo, who's a sort of prophet for Allatra. Supposedly, he's been reincarnated. He can teleport, read minds, and displays numerous other superhuman abilities. Exactly the kind that they're trying to replicate in the Pyramid videos. In essence, he's their version of Jesus, and some of the books even read.
Dude, let me find out that we can teleport at will. That would be so cool. I would just go to Japan, give me some ramen, come back, sit at my desk, take me 2.5 seconds. I mean, that sounds... Shit, I wish that was real. That would be so cool.
Like religious texts containing conversations between Japo and Novik, where he relays the word of their god, a disembodied voice named Alat, to the reader. The most interesting part about Japo, though, has nothing to do with his supernatural behavior, but rather his job. In their very first book, dating way back to 2003, he's introduced in his earthly form as a martial arts teacher and, well, would you look at that, a chiropractor. His students call him sensei, but on more than one occasion, he is directly referred to by the name Igor Mikhailovich. While Allatra may have passed these books off as mere works of fiction, the inclusion of Igor Danilov is very real. This man, to this day, is convincing thousands to follow him. He professes the ideas baked into these novels in his troves of YouTube videos and on every Allatra website, and he convinces humans that they're capable of doing things that are physically impossible. At this point, we've transcended the realm of pseudoscience and societal manipulation, because this man, Igor Danilov, is trying to be a prophet. A warped, twisted, and disturbed prophet, leveraging his power behind the scenes to not only control people, but to enact some of the most disgusting acts imaginable.
I knew it was about women. I had a feeling it was. Every cult. I feel like every cult ever exists is just a dude trying to bang a bunch of chicks. I always feel that way. I feel like that's all cults are, is that, dude. Some dude just doesn't get a lot of puss, He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna make a whole society, a whole cult. They're gonna follow me, worship me like a god. That's terrible, man. Imagine being so lame you have to do that. That's how you get puss. That's crazy.
Девушки находятся в постоянном страхе, и поэтому они очень контролируют, что они говорят, как, и, конечно же, никому ничего нельзя рассказывать.
Добрый вечер. Я очень благодарна, что вы вышли со мной на связь. Я понимаю, что время у нас довольно ограничено, поэтому давайте пройдемся по тем вопросам, которые бы хотелось, ответы на которые хотелось бы общественности показать.
The video you're currently watching is an interview between a Russian journalist named Elena Namlieva and one of Igor Danilov's former so-called heavenly birds. In fear of retaliation, her identity has been concealed. However, the information she provides gives us an eerie look into his other ventures. In this interview, the woman explains that Igor, joined by other cult members, would regularly partake in group intercourse with upwards of 13 women at a time. These women...
What did I tell you? What did I freaking tell you, dude? How is that always the end cap to these cult things, bro? It's where a dude just wants to gangbang. I mean, how is that even possible that this is a... Like, dude, I don't know. I don't know.
As far as she knew, ranged anywhere from 20 to 40 years in age, and these acts were supposedly meant to cleanse their spirit. Igor Danilov, being the group's prophet, would utilize his power to coerce them into participating, and if they refused, resisted, or told anyone about what was happening behind closed doors, then he would convince them that their soul is all but damned to hell. You're either with us and remain silent, or are against us and are siding with Satan, he would claim.
Dude, I like want to physically understand how you come to the conclusion that this guy right here that you're talking to that's saying that you're going to be damned if you don't sleep with him is for real a prophet. Like how... In my mind, a prophet is somebody that like, they have like a moral compass. They have an odd viewing of the world and reality that nobody else has. But like him basically saying like, hey, if you don't fuck, you're going to be condemned to hell. I'd be like, well, this shit's fake then, right? Is that not what the basic conclusion would be? I was like, this dude's just trying to get pussy. Like, I'm so confused. I mean, like, maybe he does something different, like where he tries to like kill him or, I mean, I don't know. It's got to be something sinister.
Form of psychological manipulation that has kept women silent, obedient, and entangled in Danilov's web for years.
How does a chiropractor get into this line of profession?
As details about Danilov's actions trickled out over the years, investigations into Alatra began to ramp up. In 2023, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church allegedly became so concerned about this group that they labeled them a psycho cult, while simultaneously Russia also declared their activities undesirable. Their controversial beliefs, psychological manipulation and coercion, and worshipping their leader as if he was some kind of messiah were starting to cause concern. And with the member base growing day by day, Alatra was rapidly morphing from the appearance of an innocent climate-focused organization into a legitimate global threat.
That's
in August
crazy.
Of that year, Ukrainian forces organized a series of raids on the homes of Alatra's key members. They scoured Ukraine.
I mean, this means so many things, bro. Like, how do you go... Oh, man. He basically constructed something from the ground up, used AI, hired people to behind the scenes, tried to infiltrate government, and it worked. Think about, there's got to be somebody that's done this and done it successfully. I'm thinking Scientology. That's the only thing I can think of. Scientology, I feel like, did this successfully. I don't know. I don't even know how this is possible. How does a chiropractor get into this profession?
from top to bottom and followed every lead they had, no matter how insignificant. More than 20 cells were broken up, yet surprisingly, Danilov was nowhere to be seen.
What?
While the case, though, they weren't entirely
slippery
empty-handed,
bastard, that guy.
as what they found instead was so unexpected, so completely out of left field, that it turns this entire movement on its head. Inside one of their compounds, Ukrainian authorities uncovered an array of weapons, religious texts, and a myriad of blurred red objects. Interesting. Well, good thing there's a video. So let's see.
What the hell? Is that a fucking Trump hat?
All throughout this compound are not only shrines dedicated to Vladimir Putin, but Trump hats everywhere. This is
What
why
the
they're creating
fuck? Wait, what? Wait, dude, so is Vladimir Putin and Trump in on this? I'm so fucking confused right now. Why do they have Make America Great Again in a Russian facility? What?
account after account, specializing in nearly every country in the world to spread their message. This is why they're paying Egon Shalakian to cozy up to any major governmental figure he can. This is why they've spread to California and have launched a trendy new YouTube channel for a fresh American audience. These people will not stop their efforts until they land someone inside the White House and beyond. And you wouldn't believe it, but they're well on their way there.
I am running for president of the United States of America to give power back to the people and build a creative society worldwide.
It turns out that former football coach and presidential candidate Robbie Wells has been associated with Elantra and the Creative Society since 2019, running for office, circulating the same rhetoric about a universal basic income, using every social media account to deliver pro-Elantra.
Dude, again, a universal basic income sounds inherently good, but I don't think it would be. I do not think having a, well, maybe like, okay, $10,000 cap. Like, you can't do $10,000 to everybody a month. That just doesn't make fucking sense. That's a lot of money. I mean, that's a lot of money. Maybe if they did like 2,000, maybe that would be like, I can kind of see how that could be okay. But even then, like, how would you get that? Because then it would be off of the taxpayers. You might as well just not do, I don't know. I'm so confused. I mean, just get rid of taxes at that point, right? Or no, I mean, no, because then that wouldn't work here. 'Cause they would definitely make more than they give out. You know, I don't know, man. I don't think universal basic income works, though.
Pro-Putin conspiracies to his followers. Pastor Mark Burns, the man who just helped erect the golden statue of Trump, also has video after video spanning every one of his socials.
Well, even if, like, the thing about universal basic, like I said, I could understand it, but again, like, I don't think we would be as productive as we are as, like, the society would collapse because nobody would give a fuck. Like, you would just do nothing and make money. Like who would work at a gas station at that point? Who would work at McDonald's at that point? You know, like, if everybody gets a base of 10,000, 5,000, 2,000, I like, maybe 2,000, you could be like, okay, let me get a job. And that, like, okay, let me try to articulate this better. I think $2,000 would make sense because then it would help people out and you could have a part-time job instead of people having to work like 3 jobs just to make ends meet. But I just don't think that's like that's even probable. I don't think you can do that. I don't know. Like, there can't be enough money that we could just dish out like that to everybody a month. I just don't feel like that. And also, how would they account for it? Like, do you have to have a birth certificate? Like, what do you have to, like, how do you get that money to the people? I don't know, man. How'd they do the whenever everybody got a stimulus check? They did that one time, and that was like the biggest thing in the world. And that was like $1,200. Like that was not even. I mean, $1,200 a lot. Don't get me wrong. Like that's a lot of money. But bro, like doing 2K to everybody a month forever. Good luck.
Supporting Alatra's cause. And most insane of all, even the Pope has given Alatra his blessing, something they make absolutely sure to boast about on their website.
Okay, why is the Pope involved in this? What the fuck? Pope Francis, what are you doing, bro?
These activities, these attempts at gaining access to major governments across the world are happening right under our nose. And no one, besides a handful of people dedicated to following Aegon's trail, are talking about any of this.
At the end? Oh no, I was about to say, I was like, what? What's happening right now?
Ahoj
Oh,
přátelé, vítám vás z Afriky. Je to tady
What's
naprosto
up, Drew?
fantastický. Zrovna jsem přišel do vesnice. Hello, Klára! Tohle je jedna z mých hlavních pomocnic.
Allow me to introduce you to Jakob Jarl, a journalist, YouTuber, and qualified expert in cults, dedicating his life's work to exposing them and the plethora of sophisticated techniques they use to manipulate their followers. He's also a humanitarian, having spent numerous years volunteering in Africa, traveling to communities like the town of Moshi, Tanzania, where he helped to provide education and support to people in less privileged situations than his own.
Oh, this is a good guy. Oh man, went to TikTok to watch it live, but you weren't. Yep. No, I did. I streamed for like 3 hours and then I hopped off. We're watching a scary video now.
Or at least, that's what he says he does.
Wait, please don't tell me this guy's sinister. Please, God, don't tell me this guy's sinister, man. You can't. Come on. At least there, I'm a mod. That's true.
Scattered across YouTube are numerous near-identical documentaries that provide a much more sinister look into Jakob's supposed activities in Tanzania. Satanist in Africa, from charity to child abuse. The victims told the truth. Why is Jakob Jarl still free? These productions span hours and appear to be entirely legitimate documentaries. They're presented by verifiable hosts who have taken to the streets of Moshi to interview locals who'd like to expose the truth. That Jakob Jarl is a liar, a deviant, and that he secretly and covertly conducted an undercover operation to abuse and brainwash children in Africa.
That's fucking awful, bro. Is there any good people left in the world?
This case is so disturbing, so repulsive, that all over TikTok to this day are hundreds upon hundreds of videos spreading the word about this monster that has seemingly been hiding under the radar for years.
This horrible human being who abused kids in Tanzania. His name is Jakob Jarl. He is from Czech Republic. He came to Tanzania.
Just take a look what this predator, Jakob Jarl, who raped African kids, is saying.
Jakob Jarl raised thousands of euros, claiming it was to help children in Tanzania, and then he used this money to brutally abuse them.
This account, Ollie Climate Girl, is one of hundreds spreading the Jakob Jarl story. Which is fine, it's good to get the word out. The part that isn't fine, though, is that this very account has already shown up in this video.
Oh shit, she's part of Alatra.
Jakob Jarl never did any of this. The documentaries, completely fabricated. The endless support of them, entirely manufactured. Every bit of information we've learned about Jakob up to this point has been nothing but what Alatra wants us to know about him. Because just a few years ago, Jakob did something to absolutely enrage them. In 2023, Jakob Jarl was one of a number of Czech journalists working to expose Alatra's activities. Turns out that he was instrumental in locating one of Igor Danilov's hideouts. And because of his meddling, he's now facing a coordinated smear campaign, essentially painting him as the devil. Unfortunately, it's difficult to parse who exactly is connected to Alatra and who isn't when it comes to their comment sections. They've amassed hundreds of them across their various uploads, and the overall sentiment ranges from unapologetic support to cautious skepticism. From what it seems, this massive psyop they're pushing is working in some capacity, as it's even caused the Czech government themselves to step in and investigate Jakob for these claims. It took years before he was exonerated, and while today he's thankful for it, the mental toll it took on him, combined with the internet's collective outrage about him doing things he never would have even imagined doing, all of it had unfortunately put him in an extremely dark place.
Hello, this is Pastor Mark Burns, spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump, and I want to tell you, I'm here in the Tanzania embassy right now. Just had a wonderful, productive meeting. Jacob is not going to get away with the evil and the atrocities that has been done to these children. So let's continue to pray, let's continue to fight, and let's continue to tell the world that justice is coming. Jacob, you won't get away with this.
To this day, if you look up Jakob Jarl on any search engine or social media platform, you'll find video after video painting him out to be a monster. It is an absolute travesty, and that's exactly how Alatra wants it.
You know, this isn't getting a lot of views overall, like 400 views, 18 views, 5 views, 200, 263. These aren't getting a lot of views though, so like, but what's scary is like this would work. If let's say like a high, like this has probably been done 1,000 times, people, but like the fact that you could just smear campaign a dude for calling you out is nuts. I think that's why. Oh, I can go in deep about a lot of different things about this, but I think that's why people are afraid to talk about certain things that like everybody kind of knows about already. Especially like higher ups, because I feel like this shit would happen. I feel like as soon as you go off the deep end, shit like this will happen. They'll just smear you to death about random allegations that are really, really fucked up.
It's interesting. I don't know if you know, but this summer holidays, Alatra is again visiting Tanzania. They're going there with like 20 volunteers for 2 weeks. And you know why they do it? Because the children we were helping, they discovered all their orphanages, and now they're getting into that orphanages. Of course, when they give those people money, you know, of course they will take it and they will be happy. So now they're going there and visiting those children we cared for years. And they're visiting them, and they will try turning them into this Alatra member in the future. You know, they have like this whole campaign, and that's the real torture thing, right. You know, because they can't hurt me with lies when I know it's a lie, you know, but they can hurt me with those children we helped them medically, we put them in school, and now they go there, you know, now they made all those people crazy, you know, they're spreading those things, so I can't visit Tanzania anymore. So I can never visit them again, the children, nor any of the volunteers. We like traveled there with a bunch of people for years. We cared for all of them. No one can visit them anymore, and all of those children are getting indoctrinated into Alatra cult now.
Wow.
Now
that's
you're saying
fucking
that,
awful.
I had never considered that as one of the.
This has taken such a twist and turn. I thought it was just about a fucking AI. This is insane, man. This is a whole program. Oh man, the world is fucked. We're so fucked.
One of the negative effects that Alatra has had on people, that I will say is probably one of the most grim out of everything, And I never knew that. So thank you for bringing that up, because I want more people to know about this.
Yeah, so that's like the real thing that's hurting me. That's the only thing I can't like be laughing about. But the other things that okay, so they will kill me somewhere, you know? That's like something I can laugh about, because I don't care so much anymore when I know that it's much more important to fight against them. But this is something that hurts me, and I also feel guilty, because if I would not visit those children and would not investigate cults, they would not be indoctrinated by this crazy cult that's now targeting them.
That's so sad.
At the end of all of this, I'm simply left feeling shocked. Shocked at the fact that something so random, so minuscule, a simple live stream by Destiny and a Reddit post to accompany it, could morph into something so far from where we started. This entire time, Aegon Shalakian has been nothing but a cog in a much greater machine. A fraud in so many aspects of his life. Alatra to this day is operating around the world and is doing everything they can to entangle themselves in world governments to further their cause. Like with Robbie Wells and Mark Burns, their strategies have been undeniably effective. However, I believe that shining a spotlight on groups like this can truly help prevent them from weaseling their way into where they don't belong. What they've unleashed upon Jakob Jarl and the handful of other journalists that have exposed them is cruel and inhumane, and it reveals to me just how effective the internet can be at swaying public opinion. If you had never watched this video and had randomly stumbled upon Jakob's story, I wouldn't fault you for believing everything that Alatra has been peddling. I wouldn't fault you for believing their climate disaster reports, considering the changes our planet's seen in the past few decades. And I wouldn't fault you for giving these people credibility, given the seemingly endless images and videos depicting them with powerful figures. While Igor Danilov to this day remains at large, his group continues to operate in capacities that I still don't fully understand. Who knows how many women are still under his grasp, worshipping him as something he isn't, coerced into satisfying him whenever he demands it, and being tormented into an agonizing silence. I can only hope that someday they wake up and realize how fraudulent everything about Alatra truly is.
Yeah, so it's a freaky sets cult. Nice. It's fucking great.